All right, everybody, welcome to the NBC Game of the Week, 1978. We are at the date of September the 16th in 1978, and it is the Pittsburgh Pirates against the Montreal Expos from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. It'll be Ross Grimsley, a left-hander from Montreal, 20-game winner, against Don Robinson, who was 14-6 for the Pirates. Hello, Kevin, and hello, Brian B. and Kenyon. Good to see all of you on this Saturday afternoon. Even though it's afternoon in the East Coast, I'm still got my coffee with me. Got one last cup to finish up. So hopefully you can do that while it's still hot. All right, so Ross Grimsley and Don Robinson are your pitchers rather. You can see the lineups for both teams. Dave Cash will lead off for the Montreal Expos. Well, Ben, stay as long as you like. That'd be great. However long you can stay. Yep, it's almost over, Kenyon. Only a couple more weeks to go, and then I can move on to bigger and better things. I haven't totally checked out of this project, but it's definitely I'm definitely not as enthusiastic now as I was in the beginning, because I've gotten, pretty much gotten on the strat kick now. So I'm kind of, wanting to go ahead and finish this thing up. All right, a couple more weeks to go. All right, here is Dave Cash against Don Robinson. We get a sick ball. I forgot to do the ballpark effects. See, I'm already off my game. That roll didn't count. We forgot to do ballpark effects for Three Rivers Stadium. It's a September day game, which is 61. And you got to have 82 degrees to make it a positive impact. That's a 13, so that's only going to make it 74. So it's not going to be enough. That's going to be a neutral effect. Hello, Greg. Good to see you. So now we're ready to go. No ballpark, nothing on the deep drives. The ballpark will not affect it. That's a 535. Right away, a defensive check for the first baseman of the Pirates. That's Pops Stargell. So we go to 535 on Stargell, and that's going to be a base hit to right field. Stargell unable to get to it, so Dave Cash will get a leadoff single. He stole 12 bases, got caught 6 times. But I think with Dawson and Valentine and Perez coming up, you don't want to run yourself out of an inning, so they will just hold him here. And they'll go to the Hawk, Andre Dawson, a very young Hawk, as a matter of fact. 622, visiting team batting, so no adjustment made. 622 is a pop-up to second base. And Garner will haul it in, one away. Hey, Ernest, good to see you. I'm not sure why you're not getting a notification, Ernest. I got mine. And I don't know what... YouTube does funny things, so it's hard to tell sometimes. Here's Ellis Valentine, 394, and that is a non-split. And 394 is a 2-run home run for Ellis Valentine. Valentine said, who needs splits? Right here, 394. And 392 to 399 is a home run. He had 25 homers on the 78 season. So 2-run home run for Ellis Valentine. The Expos jump on the board 2-0. Right off the bat. This was actually the B game on NBC. The main game was Red Sox and Yankees, but I just did them last week, and I didn't feel like doing them twice in a row. Although I know the world loves both those teams. So anyway, here's Tony Perez. And you can't, and ESPN never shows enough Yankee and Red Sox games. We all know that. So here's Tony Perez. We need more. 233 to the right-hander, and that's going to be a single. Single for Tony Perez. Robinson off to a rough first inning. Here's Warren Cromartie. That's a 597. That blue 7 is not looking good for the right fielder. In this case, that's Parker, but I'm not even sure even Parker can overcome a blue 7. That's kind of rough. Blue 7 is going to be a double. Run on first could try to score, but with 1 out, Perez doesn't run all that well, so they're just going to hold him at third. But it will be a double for Warren Cromartie, as the blue die in this game is much like the double die in Strat. It's just coming up evil with these big numbers. Defense has no chance. Here's Gary Carter. Infield's in now. First and second. I'm sorry, second and third. Nobody. One out. Infield is in for Robinson to Carter. And that's a 693 for Carter. 693 is going to be a double for Gary Carter. And boy, they are laying waste to Don Robinson. That's 4 runs in the first inning off of Robinson. And we do have expanded rosters for September, so there's a lot of Pittsburgh pitchers in the bullpen. They may be going to them very shortly. Chuck Tanner running out of patience here. Let's see here. 394 for Parrish, and that's a single. So, boy, the hit parade just keeps going. It's a single plus, so Parrish will score from second base. It's now 5-0. And, boy, I tell you what, how much longer can we go with Don Robinson? He actually had a decent season. He was 14-6, 3.7, but the dice rolls are just not going his way. Hey, Ben, I got that expression. I think I got it from Jeff Guterman. I think he was the one that called it double dice from the get-go. So I think that's where I got it from, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see, 213, and Spire's a righty, so 213 is a 4-6-3 double play. Boy, he needed that in the worst way. 4-6-3 double play to end the inning, but don't look now, but the Expos have a 5-0 lead on the Pirates after just 1/2 of an inning. Ross Grimsley gets the best present he could ask for, a 5-run lead to start his outing. Going to be facing Frank Taveras for the Pirates. 6-12, but home team batting 622, but it probably won't make a difference. 622 to pop up to second. It would have been a strikeout, but instead he pops to second with the extra 10 points there. So 1 away. And here is Omar Moreno. That's a 4.48. And Moreno against a lefty. 4.48 is a strikeout. Would have been a single against a righty, but against a lefty, it's a strikeout. So 2 away for Dave Parker. That is a 3.54 for Parker, non-split, and that's a single. Infield single for Parker. 2-out infield single. And here down 5-0. He's not going to try to run anywhere. 101. Usually that's a redirect, but it's not a redirect here. It's going to stay on the pitcher card. And it is obviously because he didn't have that many strikeouts. He only had 84 in 263 innings. That's why you don't have the redirect there to a 3-0 something, which would strike people out. So just a pop up to first, foul out to first, whatever you want to call it. Bottom line is it's an out. And the inning's over. So we go to the top of the second, and Ross Grimsley will actually lead off. In this one, in the top of the second, his eye is a 3 and his contact is a 1. So we're looking at eye and contact if we roll a 3 or a 4. And we roll a 1, so it's irrelevant. So that's a 119, and that's a redirect to a 319. So now we'll go back to this 319. And let's see. His contact rating is a 1. So that's automatic strikeout. Grimsley strikes out. 1 away, and back to the top of the order for Dave Cash. 123. That's a redirect to a 323, and that is a fly to center field. So maybe Robinson's settling in. He certainly needs to. Here's Dawson. 364, non-split. That's a strikeout. So Robinson definitely much improved on this second inning. Goes 1, 2, 3. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still 5-0 though. Pirates had their work cut out for them. And it's going to be Pops, Wilbur Stargell, due up for the Pirates. That's a 4-10 against a left-hander Grimsley. 4-10 is a walk. Got to start somewhere. If you're the Pirates, you got to get people on base. Here's Scrap Iron Garner. That's a 392 against a lefty, but this is a non-split. 392 is a single plus. The plus means a runner on second would score, but a runner on first only gets the one base. So it's first and second. First and second, nobody out for Dale Berra. That's a 578, and now the Expo's in a rough shape with that blue die. 578, that's the left fielder. That is Warren Cromartie. Go to Cromartie's card. 578 is going to be a single. Runner on second could try to score, but down 5-0. I don't think you want to take any chances, particularly with Stargell, who doesn't run all that well at this advanced age. So it's bases loaded, nobody out. And we'll bring up Ed Ott. Expo's playing for the double play. 405. 405 against a left-hander is a 4-6 fielder's choice. So the run will score from third. Garner will go to third. Berra is out on the fielder's choice, 4-6, and Ott reaches. So now runners on the corners with one out. Don Robinson, the batter. Robinson's contact is a 4, and I is a 2. Pretty decent hitting pitcher historically, I think. But that's a 596. That's for the right fielder, and that would be Ellis Valentine. 596. He will make the catch on a fly out to right field. Now there is a runner at third. Oops, there is a runner at third, and we've got this R3 question mark exclamation point. I don't know if it means he's got to go or whether he's automatically out. I've got to double check that. I haven't had one of those come up in a while. Let me check here. Oh, it says runner. Here it is right here. F9 R3 question exclamation point. Runner thrown home, and that's what we had, I believe, on that 596. Let me double check it, make sure we got the same result here, and I'm not screwing something up. Now, this has a question mark. This one does not. So the question mark leads to me that he could try it, but he doesn't have to try it because it's a question mark. It says may challenge. Okay, so a Valentine. He's got a good arm of 6. So we're not going to challenge that. Not down 5-1. Are you saying he has to go, Captain? Because of the he has to go because of the exclamation point? Is that, but the question mark is there as well. So he's not automatically out, but he does have to go. Is that the gist of that? I'm trying to find it on the little cheat sheet. I don't see anything exactly with that verbiage on it. I see some things that are close to it, but I don't see the exact verbiage on it. Well, how do we play this then? Let me check Garner's speed because he's the runner on third. Garner's speed is a 4, and Valentine's arm is a 6, so it would make sense to have him go on his own and risk the third out of the inning because Robinson flies out for out number 2. Let's see. It may be wrong, but I'm going to make the command decision that he does not have to go, that he will hold. I just don't think he would do that. That wouldn't be good baseball to do that, especially down 5-1, especially when you have a slower run rating than the outfielder has an arm rating. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You know, like I say, play the game you want, the way you want to play it. That's what I'm doing. All right, here is this is not the game I want to fuss over. So Strat I'll fuss over, not this. 128 is a 3-1 put out, and that's going to end the inning. So at the end of 2, it is 5-1 still, or now, for the Expos. So you get 5-1. Coming up for Montreal, it'll be Valentine who hit that home run his first time up. followed by Perez and Cromartie. We get a 527, and again, you get that blue die as a high number. That's not good for Ed Ott. Might pass ball or something. And it is, but nobody's on base. At least it's not a walk. So it's just a no play there with nobody on. So good time to get that roll if you're Ed Ott because it didn't hurt anything. We get a 264. Valentine's a righty. 264 is a deep drive to left. That's not good for Robinson because Valentine's power is a 9. So we're going to add 9 tens and see what we get. If he gets an 8 or higher, it's pretty much a home run. That's a 13. It's gone. That's a 22. So second home run of the game for Ellis Valentine. Is he hit a deep drive off Robinson, and that was crushed. It's now 6-0. Perez, 273, and that's a deep drive to left field. Perez, this will be it for Robinson. If he gets with the home run, this is all she wrote. He's a power of 6, so we're going to add this 6. But if you roll 11 or higher on these 2 D10s, it could certainly happen again. And it does. 13 and a 6 is a 19, so that's a home run again. And that's going to be it for Don Robinson. He was bitten by the gopher ball more than one occasion. He's only going to go 2+ innings, is Robinson. And he's going to give up 7 runs all earned. Talk about your ERA buster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. He did strike out 2, but he gave up 3 long balls. Didn't walk anybody, but maybe he should have walked some of these guys to not give up the home runs. So we'll go to the Pittsburgh bullpen. And there's plenty of guys in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. They got all kinds of pitchers they can go to. They got Jim Bibby, who's a starter/reliever. They have Jerry Royce. He's a starter/reliever. And they've got, those are the guys that have the long relief ratings. They can go more than 2 innings, about 3 innings of relief. So coming up for the Expos, we got Cromartie. It's all righties. Well, let's see here. We got Cromartie, a lefty. Everybody else is a righty. So they're going to go with Jim Bibby. They will go with Bibby. And he will just try to eat some innings. So Cromartie facing Bibby. And unfortunately, another blowout game in this season ticket. 133, and that's a redirect to a 333, which is going to be a single for Warren Cromartie. The hit parade continues. Here's Gary Carter. 197. That will be a fly to left for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Larry Parrish. .370 non-split is a single plus to right field. Puts runners at first and second for Chris Spire. 394, and that's going to be a single plus, so that'll score Cromartie from second. Parrish will stop at second base, but a base hit RBI single from Spire. And this is just getting out of hand, folks. 8-0 already, or 8-1 already, and we're just in the 3rd inning. Here's Grimsley. We're not bunting with Grimsley. He's going to swing away. How about that? 608 for Grimsley. 608 is a strikeout. Second out of the inning for Dave Cash. That's a 472 against a right-hander. 472 is a liner to short, and that will end the inning. But 3 more runs come across. It is now 8-1 in favor of Montreal as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Another nice, tight, close game in season ticket baseball that we've all come to expect. Here is Omar Moreno. 549. So again, blue 9 comes up as a double die. Second baseman is Cash. He has no chance at this. 549 is going to be an error on Cash. So Cash will boot it. Moreno's aboard. Here's Parker. 317, and that's a strikeout for Parker. For Grimsley, that is strikeout number 2. Brings up Bill Robinson. 373, and that's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice. 2 down for Pops Stargell. 556. Let's see if the third baseman, Parrish, has a chance with that blue 6. He might. Not guaranteed, though. No, he does not. It's a single to left field. And that'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs. First and second, 2 outs. And here is Phil Garner. .174, and that is going to be a walk, and that's going to load the bases. .323, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So we go to the fourth rather. It's 8-1. Here's Dawson. Unbelievably, he's 0 for 2. 5, and he's going to still be 0 for 3 because 580 is an easy play for Moreno. That blue 0 is automatic. 1 down. Here's Valentine. Hello, Sean. Here's Ellis Valentine. I need to shorten it to something, Kenyon, because this is getting out of hand. 328. And that's a strikeout for Valentine. 2 down. I've never wanted to end so bad as I do this one. 455. And that's going to be a double. Double. Here comes Cromartie. 227 for Cromartie, left-handed. 2-2. 1-3 put out to end the inning. 8-1. Somebody asked me, was I going to do the playoffs for this? I was like Jim Moore. Playoffs? Playoffs? Not in this game, I'm not. No way. If I had 78 another season, I might, but not this one. Here's that hot. 117. And that's going to be a 1-3 put out. After this replay is over, this game will go into the deep box and probably never come out again. Grimsley, 659 becomes a 669. 669 is a hit by pitch. So he hits the pitcher, Bibby. And that'll take us to Frank Tavares. I saw that score, Greg, 20-1. I did see that. And ironically enough, Toronto's scored first. They got a run in the top. I think they got a leadoff home run to start the game in the first, then top of the first. And after that was downhill from there, 20 unanswered. 122, and that's going to be a 1-6 fielder's choice. And Omar Moreno, the batter. 345, and that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. So we go to the fifth. It's 8-1. Or score. I should call this after 5. Say it rained, but I'm stubborn and I won't do it. So here's Gary Carter. 326. That's a strikeout for Bibby. 1 away. And that'll bring up Parrish. 358. And that's a non-split, and that's a fly to center. 2 down for Chris Spire. 190, and 190 is a wild pitch. That's ball 1, nobody on base. 606 for Spire. Not going to do much with that. 606 is a strikeout, actually. So he will strike out to end the inning. So 1, 2, 3 for, and actually for Bibby now, that's 4 strikeouts for him in his 3 innings of relief. Here comes Dave Parker, the Cobra. Lead off the bottom, down 8-1. That is a 490. 490 against a lefty pitcher is a fly to center. So Parker flies out, 1 away. And here comes Bill Robinson. 124, and that's going to be a 1-3 put out. 2 down for Stargell. 314. 314 is a strikeout for Pops, and that's strikeout number 5 for Grimsley. So now we're getting somewhere. We're rolling along now. Now the train is moving pretty good, which we like. And here is Bibby to Grimsley. That's a 333. Grimsley is on his 3, which is contact. He's a 1, so he's automatically going to strike out. 5th strikeout for Bibby. Maybe Bibby should have been the one to start, but Chuck Tanner decided otherwise. 147, and that's a redirect to a 347, and that's going to be a pop-up to first. 2 down for the Hawk, Dawson. 382 non-split is a single. So 2-out single for Dawson. It's an 8-1 game. We're not stealing any bases or anything like that. Valentine, 616 shouldn't be a problem on the ballpark chart. It is a pop to second, and that will end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 8-1 ball game. That's probably going to be all for Bibby. He's going to go 4 innings. And let's see what, because they're going to pinch hit for him down here anyway. Let's see, 4 innings he went, and he gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. So pretty good outing there for Mr. Bibby in relief. Here is Scrap Iron. 535, that's the first baseman for the Expos, Perez. 535, he just barely get to it, 3 unassisted. 1 away. Here's Berra. 257 for Berra. He's a righty. 257 is a redirect to a 567. So we're checking the shortstop Spire, but that blue 7 is not good. 567, but he'll still get to it. The fielder is Spire. He gets to it. So Spire able to handle it. 2 down for Ed Ott. And there is a pinch hitter waiting on deck if Ott reaches. And he's going to definitely reach because that's a 689 becomes a 699. 699 is a walk. So 2-out walk to Ott. And now they'll figure out who the pinch hitter is going to be and who the new pitcher is going to be. Go to the bench for the Pirates. There's a plethora of guys on the bench. They got Rennie Stennett, Bry, you got Duffy Dyer, you got Manny Sanguillen, Ken Maha, and you even have Mario Mendoza. 1 lefty, John Milner. That's who's on the bench. So obviously, right-hander should be the priority there, I would think. So let's see who they want to go to. They'll go to Manny Sanguillen. Why not? Manny Sanguillen will pinch hit for Jim Bibby. Manny Sanguillen. He will pinch hit for Mr. Bibby. 1 on and 2 outs. Sanguillen, your batter. 485 against a left-hander. 485 is a deep fly to center field, and that will end the inning. So Sanguillen is out to end the inning. Nothing doing for Buccos. We go to the 7th, and it's 8-1 still. Pirates will need a new pitcher. Coming up for the Expos, it will be Perez, Cromartie, and Carter, 2 righties and a lefty. So you would think to go to a right-hander, but not necessarily. There are actually more lefties in the bullpen than there are right-handers in the bullpen. They're actually going to go to a left-hander, Grant Jackson. Grant Jackson will come on for the Pirates. And he'll face Perez, Cromartie, and Carter. Top of the 7th, 8-1 ball game. That blue die comes up again with a 9, so Omar Moreno has no chance. I don't care who you will make this catch. 589 is going to be a base hit. It's one thing I don't like is that even Strat, if you're a one fielder, all the catches, I don't care what it is, what the role is, you're going to make all the catches. In this game, you can be the best fielder in the world. If you roll a blue 9, you're screwed. There's Cromartie, 645. 645 is going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice. And Cromartie is out of there. Here is Carter. 614 back to the ballpark, and that's a strikeout. 614. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a strikeout. It's the last number in the strikeout range. So 2 down for Larry Parrish. 395, and that's going to be a single plus. That'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs for Chris Spire. That's a 264. Spire, a right-hander. 264 is a redirect to a 564. So that is going to be the shortstop, Frank Taveras. 564. He will make the play, a 6-3 ground out to end the inning. So Jackson pitches a scoreless frame. That will be his one pitching. He's going to go 1 inning, give up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. And they'll bring in a new pitcher in the 8th inning. For the Expos, Grimsley will be starting his fatigue inning right now, as he is a fatigue of 6, which means the fatigue starts in the 7th inning. So this will be his fatigue inning. There is no 7th inning stretch. Don't want to string this out any longer than we have to. So we're going to keep it rolling here. Frank Taveras. 208, and that's a read. Oh, no, sorry, it's not a redirect. 208 is a 4-3 ground out. Oops, wrong way. I think I have my handy-dandy correction tape. All right. So ground out to second, 1 away. And here's Omar Moreno. 247, and that's a lefty on lefty matchup. 247. That's a redirect to 547. Blue 7 is going to be a killer. Once again, Dave Cash probably not going to get to this, and he's not. 547 is going to be a single. So base hit from Moreno. And that'll Parker. Again, down 8-1. You're not trying to steal. 391 for Parker. Boy, just missed a home run chance, but 391 is going to be a 3-6-1 double play. How do you like that? Takes care of the Pirates really quickly here in the 7th. We go to the 8th. Pittsburgh will bring on a new pitcher. Let's see here. Grimsley only gave up 1 hit, so he's going to stay in there some more, I believe. Or do they cap? No, you know what? They're going to go ahead and cap him there. They'll go ahead and cap him at the 7 innings. And he's going to give up 1 run, which was earned. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4. Got him for 5 hits unofficially. Did walk a few. 1, 2, 3 walks plus a hit by pitch. And he struck out 5. All right, we'll get a pinch hitter from Montreal. But first, we need a pitcher for Pittsburgh because that's going to dictate who the pinch hitter is. It's going to be a right-hander, and it's going to be Ed Whitson, a right-hander, coming in to pitch for Pittsburgh, which means Montreal will most likely go to a left-hander off the bench, and they've got quite a few lefties and righties on the bench. We got Tom Hutton. He's a likely candidate. Only hits 203 though, but he's left-handed. So you also got Dale Unser, but he only hit 196. So I think they're going to go with Tom Hutton. He was my first guy I looked at, so we'll go with Tom Hutton. He will pinch hit here in the 8th inning against Ed Whitson. That's a 220, and that's going to be a redirect to a 420. So that's for the catcher, Ed Ott. This should be a strikeout frame, I imagine. And it is. 520 is a strikeout frame. Wait a minute. Did I do that right, or was that? Hold on. Hold the phone, folks. That was a redirect to a 4, not a 5. So let's see here. 420. Let me read it. Wait a minute here. Somehow just blanked out here. It's a redirect to a 420, so actually coming over here, not going to the fielding. My bad. I thought I was thinking 5 for some reason. So 420 is actually going to be a walk. So how about that? Tommy Hutton gets a walk. So the redirect turned this from a 220 into a 420, and that turns into, or 402 rather, and that turns it into a 420. I was right the first time. Still a walk either way you go. So Tommy Hutton walks. It's the leadoff man on first, and here is Dave Cash. That's a 140 on Whitson, and that will be a strikeout. Whitson gets the K. Cash is out of there. Here's Dawson. 532 should be an easy play for Stargell, you would think. Might even be a double play. 530. Now it's going to be first base unassisted. So the runner will advance to second. So Hutton goes to second. Stargell makes the play 3 unassisted. And now Ellis Valentine with 2 home runs is up to the plate. 306, and that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. So Ed Whitson does his job. He may come back and pitch a second inning. We'll have to wait and see on that. But the Expos will need a new pitcher for sure. That's one thing we can definitely know, is that they will need a new pitcher. And we'll have to figure out who they want to pick. Coming up for the Pirates, it'll be Robinson, Stargell, and Garner. 2 out of 3 are right-handed. So we go to the bullpen choices for the Expos. You have right-hander Bill Atkinson, right-hander Stan Bonson, right-hander Hal Dews, right-hander Mike Garman, right-hander Wayne Twitchell. And then you got some PDF guys that didn't hardly play at all. Pirtle, Miller, and James. And then you got Daryl Knowles, the lefty. So let's see who they might want to bring in. Again, let's see who's got the relief. Bonson can go 2 innings. So we're going to use Bonson so he can finish the game without needing relief. So Stan Bonson. Stan Bonson is on. He will face Robinson, Stargell, and Garner. 6-12 comes a 622, and it's still going to be just a pop up to second. So there's one away for Pops Stargell. 229, and that's going to be against the lefty Stargell. 229 is going to be a fly to center. 2 down for Phil Garner. 358, and that's going to be a fly to right. 1, 2, 3 for Bonson. He's definitely coming back for the 9th, no question about that. We go to the 9th, and look at that, folks. We've had 5 consecutive scoreless innings. Who'd have thunk it? 8-1 after 3. The last 5 have been all goose eggs. Music to my ears with these goose eggs. All right. So top of the 9th, and we're going to go ahead and let Ed Whitson try to finish the game. He is subject to fatigue, though. So we'll keep an eye on that. If he starts allowing anything, we'll have to add 10 to the not the deep drive, but to the ballpark results. So first batter he's going to face is Tony Perez. So Perez, that's a 662. He's not tired yet, so we're not adding anything just yet. 662 is going to be a 1-3 ground out, so that's 1 away. Here's Warren Cromartie. 356 and non-split, that's a fly to left. 2 down. 149, and that's going to be a strikeout for Whitson. So 2 good innings for Ed Whitson. Boy, the Pirate bullpen went 7 innings, giving up just 1 run. That's pretty good. So Whitson goes 2 innings, gives up no runs, no hits, walked 1, struck out 3. So obviously Robinson the loser, Grimsley the winner. There is going to be no save because of the way the score is. So Bonson will come out and clean up the 9th. It'll be Berra, Ott, and a pinch hitter for Whitson. Not sure who the pinch hitter is going to probably be John Milner now since the righty's on the mound. So we'll have Berra, Ott, and Whitson. Might get a pinch hitter for Berra too, because Berra's only hitting 207. So let's see if we can find somebody better than him. There's got to be somebody on the bench better than him. Rennie Stennett. They're going to put Rennie Stennett out there to pinch hit for Berra, because Berra's just awful. Only reason he even got into baseball is because of his last name. Certainly not because he had talent. All right, so Stennett is your pinch hitter. .279, and that's going to be a deep drive to left field. Stennett's power rating, though, is only a 2. So the deep drive to left he still could get a base hit, though. 2 and a 2, that's a 4. So he does get the single. So it is at least going to be a base hit for Stennett. Pinch hit single for Stennett. Here's Ed Ott. That's a 540, so that'll be an easy play, probably a double play for second baseman Dave Cash because of that blue 0. And it certainly it is. 4-6-3 double play. And that's just what we wanted. 2 down. Couldn't have asked for a better result than that. Here's John Milner, pinch hitter. .236, I guess it was. It could be 234. I'll have to double check it. Doesn't really matter. 230, because it's in this range, 232 to 259. It's a deep drive to center field by John Milner. He's a 5. Deep drive to center, so in the center column. Add 5 to the 9, get a 14, but just the way their luck's been going, it's a deep fly to center, and that's going to end the ball game. Game is mercifully over. 8-1 your final. Expos lay waste to the Pirates. 2 innings for Bonson. He gave up 1 hit and no runs. Didn't walk or strike out anyone. So unofficially we have 8 runs, 15 hits, no errors for the Expos, and we have 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors for the Pirates. So 8-15-0 for Montreal, 1-6-0 for Pittsburgh, and the Expos just laying waste. Thank you, Joel. Yeah, I'm trying to. Let me look at the let's look at the schedule for next Saturday. I believe there's only 2 more NBC games of the weeks remaining based on the schedule, but I will verify that because we're already into September 16th. So you've got September 23rd and 30th, and that should be it because the season pretty much ends right at the beginning of October. So let's see who they have here. For September 23rd, which is the following Saturday, it's going to be, well, by default, because the Pirates Expos are one of those games in Montreal. That's the B game. We'll go back to the A game. It's the Yankees against Cleveland in Memorial Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. Yankees in Cleveland. And on September 30th, the final game is the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. That's the B game because the A game is the Indians Yankees again. So we'll switch off and do Blue Jays Red Sox. So it'll be Yankees Cleveland next week, and on the 30th or September 30th in the 1978 world, it will be Blue Jays Red Sox, and then we will be done. That will finish the NBC games of the week because after that it goes to playoffs and ABC takes over and so forth. So that's what we have on the agenda as far as the NBC game of the week goes. Unfortunately, not a close game. It was pretty much over in the first inning. And unfortunately, that's just what happened. So tonight, we'll be back to the Demolition League. Took a couple nights off from the Demolition League, but we will be back there in Miami, whatever their stadium is called. And it'll be the Oakland A's taking on the Miami Marlins in the Demolition League. That'll be tonight. Not sure the time, but it'll be sometime or another. I just don't know when. Although I will say that I really don't like playing those games so late at night, so I'm going to have to start bumping my game up to about, I don't care if RJL is streaming or not. I can't be sitting there playing, till 11 o'clock at night. I'm retired, yes, but I still like to play at a decent hour. So I'm going to have to start playing my games at 8 o'clock, and if nobody shows up, so be it. But I just can't sit there and try to work my schedule around 15 other people. So back tonight, 8 o'clock tonight. I've already made that decision. 8 o'clock tonight is the Demolition League game, 8 p.m., and it will be Oakland and Miami. And going forward, 8 p.m. will be the Demolition League start times going forward, 8 p.m. So I'm not doing any more of this 9 o'clock crap. Tired of that. So we're going to go 8 o'clock from here on out. And that'll be tonight. 1987 will return on Monday morning. And that will be up to the May 24th date. And that game will be the Red Sox and the White Sox in Boston. Bob Stanley getting the start for Boston against Jose De Leon. So that's going to do it for the season ticket for this date. That is done. Demolition League game next, and then Sunday, I usually take Sunday off, and then Monday morning we're back at the 1987 American League replay. On Sunday, though, or tomorrow, though, I am going to upload a video I already recorded. It's relating to History Maker Baseball. If you're into that game at all or curious at all about that game, I did a 30-minute video on how to create the players, how to get the Excel file that you need, how to get the ratings book that you need, and how to input the properties onto the cards and print them out so they look good and so forth. How to add logos and uniform numbers and all that stuff. So try to spruce them up as much as you can. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll put that out tomorrow at some point. It'll be for History Maker Baseball. So if you're into History Maker Baseball, or you're even curious about it, you can tune in and watch that. The audio on it is not that great. The video looks good, but the audio on it is, for whatever reason, I don't think it picked up my microphone very well. So it got a little wanky on that. But anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by despite my lack of enthusiasm for this. But I do appreciate you stopping by. And again, tonight, if you're so curious, Demolition League game. It'll be Oakland and Miami. Some guy named Max Meyer pitching for Miami against Mitch Spence for Oakland. I know nothing about either one of these players, so I'm trying to learn. But that's what it'll be tonight on the Stratomatic 2024 Stratomatic. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.